I've done it. I've done that.
Well, hello, welcome one and all to another daily video with me, EB. That's Earth's Best Entertainment. Please, if you haven't already, get on over to my website. That is www.earthsbestentertainment.com. That is where you can find all my social media, all my videos where you can like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, as well as purchase your copies of Earth's Best Friends, which has now been split into separate series within the same branch of Earth's Best Friends. We have Hyperfeeling Ninja Heroes, Animal Teens, and Tween Titans. So you can get on over to my website, get to my Lulu Spotlight page, and that is where you can purchase them as well. Tonight, we've got Ryan Higgins of Lazer Brain Comics here. Hi, Ryan. How you doing?
How you doing? Good.
Yeah, I'm well. I'm hanging in there. You know, it's another night to go to work and do things.
You just starting your day?
Yeah, pretty much. It's third shift is weird. It's backwards, but it's not, because I'm still up during the day anyway, doing things like bringing kids to school or bringing them home from school and stuff. So it's like, think about if like you get home from work, you go to bed for a few hours, you wake up in the middle of the night, and then you go back to bed like 3 hours before you have to go to work.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to think about that.
Yeah. That's how it goes for me.
Yeah, when I was in my 20s, which was a long time ago, I spent, I don't know, maybe a year or 6 months trying to be nocturnal, where I would just go to bed as soon as I got home from work and wake up at like, I don't know, midnight and draw or do my music and stuff at night. And it was pretty productive. It was productive, but it was hard to keep that schedule. So I was by myself, so I can't imagine what it must be like having a family and trying to do that. So hats off to you.
I appreciate that. You know, it's it's hard, but I've gotten so used to it at this point. I mean, it's been almost 5 years of third shift at this job, so it's you know, and you always go through seasons of trying to reconfigure your sleep, because for some weird reason, we're not naturally meant to be on third shift, so every now and then it's all of a sudden like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not tired at this time anymore. Oh, okay, I guess I have to figure something else out now. What was working is no longer working.
Is that radio show Coast to Coast still on? That'd be good listening for that late shift. I don't know if
Space Ghost Coast to Coast?
No, the show about the supernatural, the AM radio show about UFOs and spirits. Before the
no, I don't know.
Yeah, that was whenever I was up late, I was checking that out. So it was like George Norrie, Coast to Coast. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, we'll move on.
No, it's all right. It's well, as soon as you said Coast to Coast, all I could think of was Space Ghost, which was a late night show.
Right.
But not the same thing you're referring to. Yeah, I have a good knowledge of cartoons from the 90s, but not beyond that, really.
Okay. Yeah, this is like classic late night radio. You know, really weird stuff. People call in talking about ghosts they see and UFOs, and it's good stuff. Now there's lots of places to find that kind of content, you know, but back 20, 30 years ago, that was the one place to get it. That's probably part of what to make my to make my comic. You still there?
Oh, lost you first. Yeah, I lost you for a second, or it might have lost me for a second. Like I said, we may sometimes there's connection issues while I drive. Usually it's not a problem, but
yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay. We got a robot thing going on, but that should pass.
Oh, okay.
All right, there we go. I think it's passed. How about now?
I'm good. I'm ready, ready to proceed.
There we go. Okay, good. Yes, very good, very good.
I could do the robot.
Yeah, right. So, well, let's talk. You mentioned Laser Brain Comics. Perfect. So you said that kind of inspired you to do Laser Brain Comics?
Yeah, I love all things weird, UFOs, ghost stories, anything, anything out of the normal reality. I'm there for it. So
paranormal kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. So my comic, it's an anthology. So there's multiple stories. There's a couple of superhero stories, and then a couple of what I call odd tales, where anything can happen in the odd tales. There's just short stories, standalone stories. So there's some UFO stuff in those, and some sort of creepy stuff that can happen. But yeah, this is my comic, Laser Brain Comics. This is the first issue. Boy, I'm having trouble with the reverse screen thing here. But
yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah, this one came out. I should just stop looking at myself. This one came out last. I got this done for last Free Comic Book Day, and I'm wrapping up the second issue finally. That's going to be out for this Free Comic Book Day. Is my drop dead deadline. I'm doing everything: writing, drawing, coloring, self-publishing. So and like yourself, trying to keep a regular job as well. So
yeah. On top of that's cool. I don't normally meet too many creators that do it all. Usually there's the artist, but he might have someone he might be paying someone to edit it or write it, or usually there's the writer who's paying for everything else, like myself.
Right.
So that's cool that you kind of got an all-in-one team in yourself.
Yeah. I really I'm hoping for the third issue to bring some people in. On this one, on the next one, on issue 2, I do have someone doing flatting, which has helped a lot.
Okay.
That's just doing the base, dropping in basic colors. That saves a couple hours per page. I'm not very quick at that.
Okay.
They just, no offense to them, I don't think they're going to be listening, but they just drop in really ugly colors, and then it's.
I gotcha.
Yeah, and then it takes me a few minutes to go in and switch it over to the colors I need, and then another couple hours of rendering, of the shading and all the textures and stuff. Because I'm big on halftones and lots of sort of retro patterns and stuff like that. So, but that's helped. And then hopefully by the third issue, I've got someone working on one of my odd tales that I wrote, and I'm gonna have someone. I got someone like a real pro drawing that. So that's really exciting to be sort of collaborating with somebody. But hopefully, as time goes on, I'll be able to sell enough issues to bring other people in, because it is.
Oh yeah.
It's too much, and it's I feel like I'm losing momentum between issues here, So, but
it is a problem if you wait too long between issues. People will tend to forget about you,
Yeah. But at the same time, it's I think I do a lot of recapping in the story. Yeah. My comic, it's called Laser Brain Comics. It's got a real retro sort of throwback vibe. It's like a 40s or 60s type of comic. So
yeah, I got that Saturday morning cartoon feel from it.
Yeah, and part of that, part of that style of comic is a lot of sort of throwbacks and references, a lot of asterisks, editor notes, and that sort of thing. So I try to have fun with that and work it into the story. I'm very conversational with as a writer with the reader, kind of like Stan Lee or that sort of classic Marvel feel to things. At least that's what I'm aspiring to anyway.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Stan Lee loves to put little notes and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially when they got more complicated and convoluted, it would be like they'd say a line, and it would be like, "See Spider-Man number 347,"
Right. And as a kid, it always felt like, wow, there's there's so much out there, you know.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, last issue, because it's only the second one.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. You know, I was going I was going like the graphic novel route, but doing an anthology where each chapter was kind of still a story kind of being told. They're all standalone chapters as well, but the print costs got to be crazy for those graphic novels. So that's why as I said in the beginning of the show, it's like, yeah, I'm splitting it up into floppies like everybody else now. I guess it wasn't that grand idea. Like, hey, everyone's doing floppies. I'll do a graphic novel instead. That'll separate me from the crowd.
Yeah.
But
I actually conceived of I was into comics as a kid, and sort of got lost along the way, and then I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago now, I guess, maybe not quite that long, but I started drawing again and coming up with sort of thinking about some of the ideas that I'd had as a kid, and one of the stories I conceived it as a graphic novel, and that sort of got me started, and then just the scope and size of putting together the whole 200 pages.
It's a lot.
It's overwhelming, and so doing the single issues is just it's a way to actually hit some milestones and get some stuff out there, and sort of
and the big mistake I also made was when you only have one product on your table, people tend to kind of overlook you, and I only had like a stack of books, and I didn't have any like stickers or anything to give out, because I just never have the time and money at the same time to do that, to get the extra kind of stuff. So people kind of overlooked me. It didn't help that at the convention we were both at back in the fall, Granite State Comic Con, right? Didn't help that right. I was next to the Super Smash Brothers table and the ice cream table.
Oh, so a lot of activity, but hard to get some attention, huh?
Exactly. So people were lining up in front of my table for Smash Brothers, so it was keeping other people who might have been interested walking by.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that's,
so,
the shows are tough. I have like some sales background, and I'm able to sort of check my ego and do whatever I have to do to get people over to my table. But it's still a luck of the draw in terms of geography. Like where we were at that show was just the natural collection point for all the cosplayers, because there was just this empty space by an exit in front of our table. So every now and then there'd be, a crowd of people talking about the ins and outs of Velcro and which hot melt glue to use on their costume. You're trying to get around them to try to sell some comics, so it's
exactly
it's tough, because those tables that cost money. You're putting some time into it. You kind of want to catch every potential reader that you can, before they go by. But that was a good show. It
was
definitely a fun place to spend the weekend, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was a fun time. I mean, I definitely probably didn't put full effort into my table that weekend anyway, because I did abandon it for a few hours to go see Kevin Eastman.
Yeah. that's time well spent.
Yes. I was like, I have to, right?
Right. Yeah. I didn't leave my table, but to go to the bathroom, probably.
Yeah.
My sons do a podcast actually, and we sort of share our table, and they were able to break away to talk to catch Kevin at the end. So they had a great conversation with him. They actually, Kevin Eastman was actually there. They landed him as a guest on their podcast a couple of years ago.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, it was during COVID, so
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But still, that's awesome.
Yeah, he really super nice guy. Really.
He is. I got that vibe from him when I met him. I went for the photo op in the signature, and like he was so like welcoming. Like sometimes you wonder if like the guys really want to be there, but you could tell he really wanted to be there.
You want to hear my don't meet your heroes moment when I was a kid?
Yeah.
probably shouldn't tell this. Shouldn't tell this story as often as I do. So I was 14 or 15, and it was right at the height of Todd McFarlane's fame. You know, he's drawing amazing.
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man. And it was Boston Comic Con, and my parents took me down there to meet him. And they put us in this big room, you know, big lecture hall type of room, or you know, that the little side room. And he's going from person to person, signing all our stuff. And he gets to me, and again, I'm like 14. I said, "You're my idol. You're my hero. I want to be a comic book artist." And he goes, "Pfft."
"Oh man, what?"
Like lame.
Oh man.
Yeah, so that was it was I still love Todd McFarlane, don't get me wrong. I think
yeah.
Still hasn't stopped me from wearing his merch, you know.
Well, it was the 90s, and you know, Image was created out of kind of that hatred for Marvel kind of thing. Was like, they're not doing it right anymore, let's do our own thing, you know.
Yeah, but
so it was that 90s angst. Yeah.
But I've found with my kids and all the meeting the the real artists and stuff, that the established guys, I think they're a lot nicer now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they probably are.
They kind of have to be. It'll go viral, you know, if they're not.
Yes, right. That's it. Nowadays they have to be a lot more careful than they used to be, you know. Back then, you'd lose one fan from, you know, an interaction like that. These days, it could be millions.
Yeah, but yeah, that's my don't meet your heroes.
Wow.
But
well,
yeah,
I gotta say, as far as don't meet your heroes, I haven't had an experience like that. I've met a couple different guys, and they've all been pretty nice to me. Like I said, Kevin Eastman was really nice. I met Weird Al in May.
Oh wow.
And he's really nice. Although I did meet him behind a plate of glass, even though COVID's kind of been, I don't know, not over per se, but you know, the restrictions have been pretty much dropped at this point. Yeah. But at his concert, he still had restrictions for us. And so he didn't want to meet anybody without the glass protecting him, I guess. And, but he still, I mean, we took a photo together. I'll have to show it to you later, but yeah, you know, he made a weird face at me, and I made one back at him. It was pretty cool, you know. It was a good time. And you could tell he likes to. You could still tell, even with the plate of glass, he loves his fans. He wanted to be there. Yeah. And I've also met Tom Morello, the guitarist of Rage Against the Machine / Audio Slave.
Yeah.
Not one of my biggest heroes or anything, but it was still really cool because I went to when System of a Down broke up, the lead singer Serge Tankian went on his solo tour. I was a big fan of System of a Down, and so I was there for Serge. I didn't even know Tom Morello was going to be there, but he was the opening act. And then afterwards, like if we bought his album with FYE, it got us a VIP to meet him and get his signature. So I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. You know, it was only like $20 for the album, so I was like, yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. You know, and I kind of did the you know, the Wayne's World, we're not worthy kind of thing. And he was like, nah, don't do that. Cool. So yeah, but he seemed like he was pretty nice. You know, he didn't. At least I had a pretty good interaction with him. He was like, "Hey, man," you know. Though after he was like, after the "Nah, don't do that," it was like, "Hey, how you doing?" You know. Yeah. So it was pretty cool, and I think that's all the people I've met as far as I could remember. There was like a slight interaction with Greg Harris. He's a voice actor for a lot of anime.
Okay.
He was my friend's favorite voice actor, and I went up to him and I was about to get him to sign one of her things, but then the security was like, "Hey, you can't be here. Get out of here." And I'm like, "But," and like he was about to do it too, but they were like, pushed me away. Yeah.
So wasn't his problem.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't his fault. It was security. It was like, "Hey, he's not doing signatures right now." I'm like, "God, come on," right? Like, yeah. But yeah, they do say don't meet your heroes. So I was nervous to meet both Kevin and Weird Al.
Yeah, right. But
because Kevin, obviously, Ninja Turtles is dear to my heart. I'm a millennial. I grew up with those Ninja Turtles cartoons.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, plus the New Hampshire history too. You know. And
the New Hampshire history, exactly.
Yeah.
When I found out he was from New Hampshire, I was like, "What? Like Ninja Turtles was invented where?"
Yeah.
You know.
You heard about?
So yeah, that was.
Yeah, there's some controversy now because they moved to Northampton, Mass, early on in the thing. So now, with the anniversaries coming up, Dover, New Hampshire, and Northampton, Mass, are sort of fighting.
Sort of duking it out.
Yeah, who wants to carry that mantle? You know, but history.
Well, I would say it would be Portsmouth, right? Would be the birth of it because that was kind of where he got famous, right? In that Comic-Con in Portsmouth.
Right. Yep. That sort of launched it. Yeah. You know who was an awesome? I haven't met him yet, but Mike Allred. I don't know if you're familiar with Mike Allred.
No.
He did Madman, X-Force. He's working on. The most recent book was Superman Space Age, but I got him to do my variant cover for the first issue.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and super nice. Again, I haven't. How do I get? There we go. Maybe I'll just do this.
Yeah. There were a bunch of Turtles artists there that are modern Turtles artists. Like there was Mike Ruth. Okay. I don't know if you met him there, but yeah, and he's done some stuff for Marvel too. But he was there promoting his own book plus the Turtles books he was doing. And I actually was gonna get him to do a cover for me, but then he was like, "Sorry, man, I'm actually too busy to be able to do that for you right now." And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, no, but, you gotta hit them at the right time, and
you do. And in the fall, he was willing to do it, but then he just ended up getting too busy by February when I could actually pay him.
Yeah, that's a problem too.
Yeah, it is. So my plan for covers is my guy Gabriel is a really awesome artist anyway, and you know, as nice and cool Mike Ruth is, he probably doesn't need the money for a cover, so I should really be helping out the guys that are like me that are trying to get their name out there and stuff.
Yeah. The variant covers are fun though, just to sort of to connect with. For an established artist, you can sort of connect with their fans, and plus as a fan of that artist, it's awesome to have to be able to have them work on your stuff, and
that would have been cool.
Yep. How did you connect with your artists?
Facebook. I've met all my artists from Facebook. There's this group called Connecting Writers with Artists, literally what it's called. And so like Gabriel,
like a dating app, but for comic creators. Yeah,
pretty much, right? And you basically put in a post saying, "Hey, I need an artist." Guys message you. But Gabriel, who's my character designer, I actually met him. So he became a fan of Earth's Best Friends, and he was like, "Hey, would it be okay if I made you some fan art?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, it'd be okay, right?"
Yeah.
And when he sent me the final product, I was like, "Dude, your art is amazing! Like, I have to hire you." Like, and I just happened to be in the market for a new character designer because the character designer I was utilizing, he actually got too busy to do it for me anymore too. Yeah. So it just happened to work out perfectly, and yeah, he's been doing it since. And then now I have the opportunity to pay him for a few covers. Yeah. Which is awesome.
Cool. Yeah. Where's he from?
He's in Nigeria.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And my main artist, Gene Pedroso, he's in Brazil.
Okay.
I met him from that group. He actually posted saying he was, in the market for freelance work. Mm-hmm. And I loved his style. And at the time I had a different team because when I first started going back to comics, because Earth's Best Friends started as a novel. And then the feedback from that novel was this would make a better graphic novel than book. Yeah. So my initial team was kind of like this, was this crew of basically artists that I had known previously from various things, mostly from that, I've made a lot of friends. And so a few of them were like, yeah, I'll go on board with you. Yeah. And so they did my first issue. And then I have recently just for style consistency, I had Gene redo it, but they were my first team. And then when he did it, when I saw his style, and then when I wrote a non-canonical holiday special just to see like what he could do with my characters, and I loved it. And I was like, oh man, I hate to say this, but I'm gonna have to change my team to be you.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Like, I hate to see this for this other team, but you know, they knew it was kind of a temporary thing. They were just helping me get started. Basically, they were like, yeah, we'll do it for a little while, but you know, and that was kind of the idea anyway. So once that first issue was done, I had Gene doing it from issue 2 on, or chapter 2 on, and then I eventually had him redo number 1. But yeah, I love his style. It's the perfect style for exactly what I'm going for with, you know, kind of this. It's for kids, but it's not at the same time. You know, I like to say it's all ages, because there are some like themes and stuff that would go over a kid's head in some instances and stuff. But
yeah, no, that's great. I mean, it's you know, when I was a kid, that's what I liked about comics. I felt like there was plenty I understood.
Yeah, exactly.
There was also you felt like there was some stuff that was going over your head, and that there was a little bit more to it, and you sort of wanted to keep reading until you were old enough to understand. It was sort of you know, it was part of what kept you in that universe. At least that's the way it was for me in the 80s when I started reading comics as a kid, and early 90s, you know. Yeah, it was like all ages didn't mean like, you know, furry little fuzzy animals, talking animals. It meant
right,
Spider-Man and Batman. And
didn't necessarily just mean like Care Bears, My Little Pony, you know.
Right. I mean, you know, that stuff's cool too.
Like those would be shows that are just for kids.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, those are great too in their own respects, of course. But those what you would say are more kiddie shows rather than like all ages. There's really no like deeper things to those shows as much.
Well, I don't know. I mean, have you ever seen Patton Oswalt's whole riff on My Little Pony? where he talks about the whole greater universe.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. He gets into this. It's a huge, complicated universe apparently, and he'll riff on it because you know, it's an old bit. But one of his daughters was into it. And he's like, oh my God, this is like every other geek universe I've ever known, whether it was, you know, Star Wars, Star Trek, or comics, and it's a pretty funny bit. But yeah, anyway, but yeah, I've tried to keep my comic all ages. There's still some, you know, there's some not edgy, but there's some. I try to keep it exciting too.
Yeah, exactly. And, you want the adventure and the danger of characters possibly being in real danger and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And
villains. Sometimes you do just want a villain that is evil for the sake of evil, you know.
Yeah. It's I'm really excited about my next issue, because the first issue I sort of just got everything established and got the plot rolling, and then annoyingly hung everybody out on cliffhangers for a year until this next one. But this next issue, everything gets really fleshed out pretty good. It's like an all action issue where like when I was looking for promotional stuff from the first issue, it was really hard to find like scenes with sound effects and action happening, because there was some, and it's still an exciting book, but the next one is just like, I really had to up my game on the sound effects for this next issue, on the second issue that's coming out here, you know, in May. Yeah. So lot of you know, not just pows and bams, but there's some kerwhams and kathows and some Krakows, that type of stuff. You know?
You gotta have the variations of sounds, right? I like onomatopoeia. You can kind of almost do anything with it as long as you can try to spell it out, you know.
So I read a lot of
like what it does, like a.
So here's a pro tip. What I do while I'm reading, when I'm reading old comics, I keep a note. I keep an app, a note in my notes app on my phone, of all the sound effects. So I've got this running massive note on my phone with all the old school sound effects, you know, and it's pretty funny because it's alphabetical, and every now and then I'm like, oh yeah, I already got that one. It's like, you know, so there's
right.
But there's a surprising, there's no end to it, you know. So then as I'm writing, I'm like,
oh yeah, of course.
I can't, this next punch can't be another bam or a pow. I've got to, you know, I need a kerwap.
Right. Gotta throw something in there, right? Different.
Yeah. Did you at Granite Con, did you get one of my my signature door hangers? Speaking of sound effects, I've got my
I did.
Okay.
I do remember I picked one up.
Is it coming in handy for you when you're reading
comics? I think it's that one, yeah.
Yeah. Are you?
Oh yeah.
You've been using it? Okay, good. Yeah,
well, so my daughter reads, but she ignores it anyway. My son can't read, so maybe not that useful, or but
yeah. So what these are?
I mean, obviously, my wife would, you know, actually, even my wife would interrupt me too.
Yeah. Yeah. So what they say, quiet, please.
Reading comics.
Reading comics. There's all the sound effects, and this guy here is my character, Philo Farnsworth. He's one of the stars of my comic. He's just a kid minding his own business one day when some aliens show up and tell him he's the key to saving the world. Here's what that looks like. That looks like there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of the stories.
Yeah, I love the idea of just all of a sudden someday, like I always love that idea, like it's like you're just an ordinary kid until you're not.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yesterday I was just a kid going to school, doing my homework. Today I'm the hero of the universe.
Yeah. That call to adventure.
Like you ever read Zeta the Space Girl?
Yes. Yeah. Drawn a blank on his name, but he also did Jack. He has like a Jack and the Beanstalk story.
Yes.
Too, that ties into that. Is it?
Yeah, Mighty Jack.
Is it Matt Haig? Is that his name? Anyway, yes. No,
I think so. I'm kind of blanking on his name too.
Yeah. Those books are amazing. Yeah. I am so jealous of his art style because it's so sketchy and it feels so fast.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is that fast for him, but it looks effortless and like reduced down to like sort of like ink drawing sketchbook feel to it, but it's all there. All the information you need is there for a story, and it just flows. Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah. If I could remember his name, maybe I should.
Yeah, I like those books. And Dav Pilkey now with Dogman. My daughter loves Dogman. And well, I mean, I grew up with Captain Underpants, and I actually got her into Captain Underpants when she was younger. But then Dogman came out, and once she started going to school, it was all about Dogman.
Yeah,
and I was like, I get it. I mean, Dogman is like, and it's funny because Dogman is part of the Captain Underpants universe. It's actually like a comic within. It's like a book within a book,
right?
Because it's like Captain Underpants was created by Harold and George. Yeah, and then they also created Dogman, but then when you're reading Dogman, you're essentially just reading the book that those two guys created.
Right. Yeah,
and then there's
it's almost
Cat
like
Kid Club.
It's like a ghostwriter situation for him, you know, like he or not a ghost, but like a pen name. He gets to be those kids and make the story even wackier, you know. Ben Hatke is who does Zeta the Space Girl and Mighty Jack. I used the Google.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're actually young enough that you grew up on you grew up on these books. That's great.
Oh, I'm losing you again.
You know, a lot of people like to lament about kids not reading comics, but you can make the case that more kids are reading comics than ever between Dogman and a few years ago, Amulet was huge. You know. Oh, are you gone?
I'm losing you again.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Yeah, well, I can, but it's a little robotic. Oh no. Looks like you're back now.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, there we go. Or, well, back for a second, I guess. No.
It looks okay on my end, but
yeah, we might have to end the feed on this if it keeps
Okay.
going like that. Let's see. Oh, I feel like you're back now. I know I said that before. All right, how about now? Is that seem good to you?
it hasn't dropped out for me at all.
Oh, okay. So it's just on my end.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm just gonna keep plugging my comic.
Yeah, no, that's what we're here for, you know. Well, I guess I will just because. So I don't know if it's recording my end or your end.
Yeah,
And,
want to wrap it up?
The robotic or not, but
Okay.
yeah, I guess we will. I hate to because it's a good conversation we're having, you know.
No problem. No, I appreciate this a lot. Thank you for having me on. I'll plug my website, I guess.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming.
Yep. Yeah. So my
website.
My website is ryanlhiggins.com. You can link to all my social media, and there's a page of all the comic. There's a few comic shops that carry my book. You can buy it on my website too, but a lot of comic shops are carrying it too if you want to look there for it. ryanlhiggins.com. Laser Brain.
Ryan L. Higgins. There we go. I'm gonna try to pop it up on the screen here.
Okay.
Yeah. And then banner. Let's see if it lets me.
Oh wow. That's high tech.
Oh. There we go. Okay. Yeah, awesome. There we go. RyanLHiggins.com. So yeah, check him out, guys. And thanks for coming on. Sorry, I guess the connection on my end is bad. So thank you so much for coming on, man. I appreciate it. I'll definitely have to try to get you back, and hopefully doesn't scrap out on me like it did, like it's doing now. No. So it's probably my problem. I generally have an okay connection, but I think lately the phone company's been a little less lax about data. So I use Straight Talk, which is a prepaid thing.
Yeah.
So I think they're trying to crack down on unlimited, even though that you subscribe to the unlimited plan, they're still trying to be like, well, unlimited to a point.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they're on. They're on.
But exactly. I do this every night, so they're like, oh, you know what? We need to shut him down. Unlimited is not supposed to be unlimited. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. If you're tuning in now or after the fact, when we do rebroadcast every morning, 8 a.m. on the Madness Network. So you can either watch now or later. Thank you all for coming in, tuning in. And Ryan, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. And we'll definitely try to get you back on. And we will catch you next time.
I appreciate it. We'll see you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Yep.